Hola, hablamos hoy de ser versus estar. Estos dos verbos son muy similares, ¿sí? ¿Qué significa el verbo ser? To be. ¿Y qué significa el verbo estar? To be. Pero hay diferencias muy grandes y muy importantes también, ¿sí? Hoy hablamos de las diferencias de ser y estar, ¿sí? Primero empezamos un repaso de ser, ¿right? Soy, eres, es, somos, soy, son. Súper fácil. ¿Sí? Typically, we say that el verbo ser describe algo permanente, right? So this is your permanent. Where you're from, who you are, your profession, your identity, your description. Algo permanente that describes you. El verbo estar, this one is temporary. So, estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. Un breve repaso. And this, I love this phrase because it's really simple and really easy to remember. How you feel and where you are, that's when you use the verb estar. Muy fácil. How you feel and where you are, that's when you use the verb estar. Muy bien. So I've used some colors to kind of help. Ser is here in red because it is things that don't easily change. And estar is here in green because it does change quite frequently, right? So ser is something permanent. Like, ¿de dónde eres? Yo soy de Carolina del Norte. It doesn't matter where I live. I'm always going to be from North Carolina. ¿Sí? ¿Cómo eres? So even though your personality can absolutely change over time, we're going to present that as your description, your personality. It's not going to change. So, soy generosa, soy amable, soy baja, soy cómica, soy inteligente. Of course, these things could change. I could say soy delgada, but tomorrow I could put on a ton of weight, or start putting on a ton of weight tomorrow, and then that changes. But for now, I'm still going to use soy delgada. Right? Another one, soy estudiante. Hopefully that's going to change. Hopefully it's not a student forever. But for now, that's your profession. That's part of your identity. Eres un chico, you're a boy, right? Maybe not going to change. So temporary, your identity. Ser. Estar with temporary, these things are probably going to change, right? So, ¿dónde estás? Ahora estoy en mi apartamento, ¿sí? Pero en una hora yo voy al mercado, right? I'm going to the supermarket. So, it's going to change. Pero ahora estoy en mi apartamento. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy muy feliz. Ahora estoy feliz porque hablo con mis estudiantes. ¿Sí? Estoy feliz porque hablo con mis estudiantes. But this could change, right? So, for example, I could sign on to the internet and find out my favorite show has been canceled. And then I would not be feliz, right? Estoy triste, ¿sí? Estoy triste when they cancel my show, right? So that can change. Estoy aburrida. Never in Spanish class, absolutely not. Y estoy feliz. Siempre en la clase de español, ¿sí? Muy bien. Muy bien. Okay, this is the information right out of the book, so you can follow along with that if you would like. With our emotions, we're always going to use estar because our emotions can change. Like we talked about the favorite TV show or being in Spanish class, these things are going to change. So we're not ever going to use ser. So we're not going to say Jorge es enojado. No. Jorge está enojado. Sara está cansada. And here we have cansada and not cansado. Why? Because Sara is a female. Yeah, so we have to make sure our gender, we have gender matching in the adjective and the noun. We get Juan está contento. Emoción está. Descriptions, there's some that can go both ways, but they have very different meanings, right? So it's not like you get to pick and it's random. They have different meanings. So with ser, we have something that's more permanent, and estar, it's more temporary in the noun, right? So Jorge es delgado, that means he's thin. Right? Jorge es delgado is his description. Jorge está delgado. This is kind of emphasizing the here and now. So, for example, if I could say something like, "Wow, Jorge has been sick lately." I could say, "Yeah, I saw him the other day. Está delgado," right? So, wow, he's thin. He's real thin because he's been sick, right? So that's really emphasizing the right now. Or, Jorge went on a diet and he's been really working out quite a bit. You're like, yeah, I saw him. Está delgado. He's looking good, right? Yeah. So that emphasizes the right now kind of aspect. Similarly with bonita, Sara es bonita. This is her description. She's a lovely lady, beautiful lady. Sara está muy bonita. This would be used in a case where, let's say, Sara es bonita, she's pretty, but she goes and buys a new outfit, she gets her hair done, she puts on some makeup, and she is bringing it, right? You could say, Sara, wow, estás muy guapa, estás muy bonita hoy, right? And that's like, you're looking really good. This does not imply that she doesn't look good any other time. It's just saying, like, you're looking good right now. Right? Estás muy bonita. Juan es nervioso. He's a nervous person. He doesn't like spontaneous activities porque es nervioso. Or he doesn't like roller coasters porque es nervioso. With estar, this is temporary, so it has nothing to do with how he usually is. Maybe, hay un examen mañana. Juan está nervioso. See? So maybe he's not usually a nervous person, but right now he is. Or maybe he is a nervous person, and he's just particularly nervous about the test that's tomorrow. Then we would say, Juan es nervioso, pero está muy nervioso porque tiene un examen mañana. Right? So he's a nervous person, but he is currently really nervous because of this test. El libro es nuevo. The book is new. El libro está nuevo. This is like new. Right? So this is in really good condition. So I go on Amazon, brand new, sold from the company, el libro es nuevo. I go and get the book secondhand, but the guy who owned it before me like barely used it. It looks really good. El libro está nuevo. It's like as if it were new. The last group, we have adjectives that totally change meaning based on ser o estar. Right? So with ser, we have more permanent things, but that doesn't quite imply as much. And estar, more temporary things. You'll see a trend throughout, but it's not quite as easy, permanent, temporary as the last one. El señor es malo. This is like, he is bad, right? Like evil bad, like bad guy. El señor está malo. Maybe he ate something, right? So, el señor es malo, we're talking about the villain in a Bond movie. El señor está malo, we're talking about the guy who got food poisoning, right? So I can say, oh yeah, I went to that restaurant once, but afterwards I didn't feel good. Y ahora estoy mala, right? Oh, my stomach is all kinds of funky. Estar malo. La chica es lista. If we have a chica que es lista, she's very smart. Here we have lista means smart. La chica está lista, we have she is smart. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. La chica es lista, she's smart. La chica está lista, she's ready, right? So if we're talking about how a little girl does in school and we say, sí, estudia mucho, es lista, she's very smart. And then in the morning, if I'm trying to get my kids ready for school, I can say, chicos, ¿están listos? And I say, sí, mamá, estamos listos. Yeah, we're ready. Sí, muy bien. La manzana es verde. Here we're describing the way that the manzana looks, right? The apple is green. Description. La manzana está verde. That means like a temporary green. So if you think about it, it's when the fruit isn't ripe, right? When it's not ready to eat yet. So la manzana está verde. I wouldn't eat it, right? Because not ripe fruit can kind of upset your stomach. Like la banana. La banana es amarilla. Pero la banana está verde means it's not ready yet. Don't eat it. La chica es enferma. We have a sickly person. Like she has a condition, right? La chica está enferma. She's sick, like flu or cold or something like that. El hombre es borracho. Borracho means drunk. With S, it would be he is a drunk. El hombre está borracho. That means he is drunk. A word of caution before you go out throwing borracho around. The intensity of this word varies from culture to culture. So there are some cultures that some areas of the Spanish-speaking world that use borracho, no problem. And then there are some that if you say, ella está borracha, they'll be like, oh my gosh, we need to worry about her, right? So there's different intensities involved. But on all of these, the verb, the adjective was ser and the adjective was estar, totally different. All right, we're going to do a little bit of practice from the textbook. So if you would like to pause, I know you can't see the second one, so I'm going to exit out of here. And listen a little bit so you can see it. If you would like to pause now and try it on your own, you are more than welcome to. And then we can get started and walk through them together. If you kind of like to walk through them with me as a little practice, that's fine. These are coming directly from your book, so you can always go back and practice them again later too. All right, so we're first going to decide ser o estar together, and then we're going to conjugate. Right? So we're going to first read the whole paragraph to make sure that we kind of understand what's going on. Right? Esteban, un joven listo estudioso. Este semestre saca buenas notas, excepto en la clase de economía, una clase muy difícil. Esteban, muy nervioso porque mañana hay un examen sobre la Unión Europea, pero él no listo. Debe estudiar toda la noche. Right? So we've got one thing that's nice when we're doing these readings is kind of pausing. You don't have to understand every single word, but kind of see what you got out of that, right? So if you want to pause and kind of revisit and then come back, we're going to walk through it. So overall, we know that Esteban is, what kind of a student is he? Yeah, he's on top of it, right? He's a good student. And he's doing well in everything except for one class, which is economy. Yeah. And what's that class like, according to Esteban? It's hard. And so Esteban is nervous because, why? There's a test tomorrow, yeah, about the European Union. But he's not ready or smart? To be ready. He's not ready, right? We already know he's smart. And so, debe estudiar toda la noche. He should study all night, right? Muy bien. So, Esteban, un joven listo estudioso. Esteban, un joven listo estudioso. So here we're giving his identity, which is which verb? Ser o estar? Ser. And conjugating with Esteban, we'll have Esteban es un joven listo estudioso. Este semestre saca buenas notas, excepto en la clase de economía, una clase muy difícil. So we're describing the class, right? So ser o estar? Ser. And if we're making it agree with una clase, es una clase muy difícil. Esteban, muy nervioso. So now we have to decide, is he a nervous person or is he situationally nervous? I'm guessing situationally nervous because there's an exam, right? A test. So if you're situationally nervous, that would be ser o estar? Estar, yeah. So if we're going to make it match with Esteban, we have está. Oops, está, no están. Porque mañana hay un examen sobre la Unión Europea, pero él no listo. So we know that it can't be that he's not smart, because we've already seen up above that he is smart, right? So it must be ready. Which one do we use if we want to say ready? Estar. ¿Sí? Él no está listo. Debe estudiar toda la noche. Bien. Yeah, let's move on to the second one. Again, if you want to pause and try it out, we're going to walk through it together. Pobres niños. This means poor kids, right? So you can use that like pobres amigos, my poor friends, right? Or one thing that they do a lot is they use it with it's called the diminutive at the end, and it's like makes it cute or tiny. And they'll say things like pobrecito. So I'll say this to my dog when he looks like he's just having a rough day. I'll say pobrecito. Or you could say pobrecita if it's a her. Right? So it's just something cute, cultural. All right, la fruta, we're going to go ahead and read through it first, and then we'll go back and look at the verbs. Pobre niños, la fruta buena y saludable, pero estas manzanas verdes no buenas. Ahora los niños no contentos. Una niña mala porque le duele el estómago. Le duele el estómago, she's got a tummy ache. Sí. Pobres niños, la fruta buena y saludable. So here we're describing what fruit is like, right? So fruit is healthy, good and healthy, right? So if we're giving a description, we'll use the verb ser, muy bien. And conjugating it to la fruta, es. Pero estas manzanas, so we have the word pero. So we know it's contrastive. So yeah, these fruits, these apples might be green. But I think we're saying, so fruit is good, but I think we're saying these are not ripe, right? So estas manzanas, so if we're saying they're not ripe, we're going to use estar. And to conjugate that to fit, están. Oh, perdón. In the wrong place. Estas manzanas